How we care for and nurture our young people will define who we are in the future. For some young people, fate leads them in directions where they need a little bit more support from the broader community. Vancouver has been pioneering new ideas and is attracting the attention from other cities. The Foundry project, connected to St. Paul's Hospital, is ensuring that our young people get support and that our whole community will have a healthy future. Please welcome Pamela Liversidge.
Every single one of us in this room will at some point in our lives know somebody who is struggling with their mental health. Did you know that 75% of mental health challenges will begin before the age of 25? There are 130,000 young people in this province right now struggling. And we know that 2/3 of them, or about 85,000 young people, will not get the access to the care that they need. So I'm pleased to be here tonight to introduce you to Foundry and to tell you about the work that we're doing in this community and several others across this province. I know that Foundry is making a difference in the lives for BC young people. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the context, challenges that people experience. I'm also going to tell you a little bit about what we do and what we do differently. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the transformation that we're starting to see. So bear with me a little bit. Pretend or imagine that you are your 14-year-old self. That's going back a long ways for most of us, I realize, but you can do it. You are struggling. You know that something's wrong, but you don't know what it is. So in a moment that's probably fleeting, you muster up the courage to ask for help. So you go to a door that you know where there are resources. But when you get to that door, you're told, sorry, we can't help you. We can't help you because you're not sick enough. Go to this door across town and they will help you. So you do that, you get to that door and they tell you the exact same thing. You go to your third door and you're starting to lose faith. Thankfully, they tell you that we can help you. We're going to screen you into our program. The bad news is that you're going to have to wait for 6 to 9 months before you can speak to somebody about how you're feeling. Overwhelmingly, this is the experience that young people and their families are having in this province, where every door is the wrong door. Foundry's vision is to transform access to care for youth and young adults. This is a bold statement. We are not talking about shifting things around the edges. We're talking transformation. So what is Foundry? Foundry is a network of youth-friendly one-stop shops, branded so that young people and their families, regardless of where they live, will know where to get help when they need it. If a young person needs to see a doctor or a nurse for birth control, an injury, a common cold, they can do that at Foundry. If they want to come in to talk about feelings of anxiety or depression, they can go to Foundry. If they want support around housing or employment, they can go to Foundry. And if they have concerns about their use of substances, they're worried that they have an addiction, they can go to Foundry for that too. Foundry is partnerships. We have lead organizations in each community that we fund to operate the center, and they convene significant existing resources to come into that space and provide service for a certain portion of their week. In Kelowna, our lead organization is the Canadian Mental Health Association. They have 25 different service partners who come into the physical center so that young people just have one door to walk into. Currently, we have 7 centers open, 1 in Vancouver. We're building 4 more, and we hope that this is just the beginning. So far we've seen, or I should say in the last 9 months, we've seen 6,000 young people walk through the doors, and we asked them, if you didn't have this center to come to, where would you have gone? Half of them are telling us that they would have gone nowhere. Foundry really is unprecedented collaboration. We have brought together over 140 partners under the Foundry umbrella. Foundry has also attracted significant interest in youth mental health here in BC from generous donors. We enjoy a very strong partnership with St. Paul's Foundation and the Graham Beck Foundation. And this has helped us to create a very unique funding model, where we've seen government-funded funding matched by generous donations almost dollar for dollar. That's incredible. Foundry is developed alongside and with young people, from the development of the Foundry brand to the design of our centers, to the research agenda that's being built out, young people have been at the heart of all of it. If we're going to transform access to care, we need to talk to them about what we need to do different. Young people tell us that often they want to talk to other young people who have struggled with the same challenges that they are experiencing. Peer support is an integral part of the care team at Foundry. This is a photo of Jenny and Nigel. They are youth peer support workers in Abbotsford, and yes, they are as sweet and kind as they look. Peer support provides opportunity for young people with lived experience to paid employment. It also offers them the opportunity to see themselves and to be seen as experts in youth and family wellness, because of course they are. We have had an external evaluation starting to tell us what we are seeing in terms of the transformation of Foundry. Over 100 folks were talked to and they were asked to describe what is Foundry, and this is what we heard. Foundry is a drop-in, single-point access. In other words, every door is the right door. Clinicians are working hard to screen young people in, not out. There is no wrong time to come to Foundry. Foundry is building relationships for young people, connecting them for connection and relationships that are sustained. This allows young people to feel safe, to come into the center, to tell their story, and to explore the options that are best for them. Referrals are tailored and minimized or invisible. You don't need a referral to come into Foundry, you can just walk in. But if a young person's working with a clinician and that person thinks that the young person would benefit from a different service, the referral looks something like this. Would you like to explore this other service? Yeah, I think that sounds interesting. Okay, let me take you across the hall or around the corner and I'll introduce you to that person. And Foundry is empowering youth as care seekers. Youth decide the care that they want and need and when they want and need it. So Foundry in communities where it exists really is shifting the policy and service landscape. It's shifting the leadership culture whereby health and social service leaders and philanthropy are working in a different leadership frame to really improve outcomes for young people. So again, imagine that you are your 14-year-old self and you're struggling. You know something's wrong, but you're not sure what it is. What you do know is that there's a Foundry in your community, a place that was purpose-built for you, where you know when you walk in the door, you will be welcomed in a youth-friendly environment and supported to find your path to wellness. So before I wrap up, I just want to say that if we want to continue to improve the lives of young people in BC, this is a collective effort, and we all need to do our part. So what I would ask of you, after you leave here tonight, if you could tell one person what you heard about Foundry and the work that's happening to improve youth wellness in BC. Thank you.